We're blessed. That's a little. Hey, Rael, where did that go? Sorry.
Ready?
I think so. Good.
Yeah. Start.
I'm Tania Keller. I've been married to Joseph for almost 23 years, and we are the proud parents of 9 kids who we are raising here in Black Diamond, Alberta, Canada.
My name is Joseph Keller. I am an electrician by trade for the city of Calgary. I was born and raised in Black Diamond, Alberta. I have 2 brothers and a sister, and my parents brought us to St. Michael's Church here in Black Diamond, and we've always had this great connection with this small church that we have in our town. My parents raised us to be strong people, strong in faith, to trust God, and build a strong family relationship. So we've had an amazing role model that I was able to look up to and emulate.
I grew up in Calgary, moved to Airdrie, but it was just my parents, my brother, and I. I have 1 younger brother. My mom had a day home. We had kids around us all the time. That's probably where my love for kids came from. And we honestly did not have any faith formation. I didn't grow up with faith at all. God was this thing that just people talked about. I believed in God, I just didn't really know Him, know anything about. It wasn't until I met Joe that I came into the church. We had met where we worked at the same time, in the same building before he had left. It was no rhyme, no reason, there was nothing normal about the day that we met. I was at my car, put the keys in, and decided, I don't want to go home, it's a beautiful day. And walked over to the picnic area to say hi to some coworkers that were on their break. And they turned around and went, Tania, stay here, keep Joe company, and left me. So that's how I met Joe.
I got introduced to her, and right away I had a natural interest into her.
Suddenly this guy walked into my life. And he did. He sat, we had a great conversation. He was just this right person at the right time. I went home, told them I met this great guy, that I was very likely going to marry this guy. Not that I said that to him until much, much later.
I was very glad she told me that much later in the relationship. But yeah, she knew instantly. I had definitely a strong connection with her. Within that first month, I think I just knew I was going to marry her. So off our first date, I told her that I'm a practicing Catholic, and whoever I marry, my children or our children will be raised Catholic. And she wasn't Catholic at the time.
And I really respected the fact that he was upfront, knew what he wanted, and I liked the idea of having something more in the way of faith than what I grew up with. I didn't expect this guy to come into my life and think the same way I did about family and think the same way that I did about kids.
And for whatever reason, that she was interested in her. And I guess the rest is history. Well, growing up, I never thought really about marriage or anything. When I met my wife, that all changed. We talked about family at a very early point in our relationship, which is quite funny because we never even talked about marriage, but we were already talking about children. And in that conversation, I did say I would like a large family. And at that time, I considered a large family 4. Like, it was like, oh, maybe 4, just exactly what I grew up with. And she made the comment, she's like, well, 4 is nice, but what about 6?
I don't want a small family. I want to have a house full of chaos and laughter, and yeah, they'll be fighting, but...
And I was like, oh, well, okay, sure, 6, yeah, that sounds pretty amazing. We had our 4th child. She literally delivered our son and looked at me and said, I'm not done. So she was very adamant about more, and obviously I was very open to the option as well.
I always thought a big family meant 4 kids, maybe 6 kids is a big stretch, but did I think I was gonna have 9? That definitely grew on us. We did not plan at the start to be as big as we are now. Wouldn't change it for the world, though. Shortly after we started dating, Joe had brought me here to Black Diamond to experience Sunday Mass with him, to introduce me to the parish, introduce me to his priest, and it was scary and nerve-wracking, and it was something. But all leading up to it, I walked inside St. Michael's and I was welcomed, and it felt like home. It was such an incredible feeling to go inside the church and meet these people who were kind and compassionate and welcoming. And Father Jack was our priest at the time, and he remembered my name. Joe introduced him to me once, and he gave me my first blessing, and he used my name, and it was just so personal that I couldn't help wanting to come back to church with him. So as we dated and our relationship progressed, I would often plan to be in Black Diamond on a Sunday so we could go to church together, and I enjoyed it. And as time went on, as we talked more about getting married and having children and what our future would look like, it changed to being more than just going to church with Joe. It started to be going to church for me and having a curiosity and wanting to understand why things happened within the church the way that they did, and who these saints were that they talked about, and who Mary was that they talk about, and are you worshiping Mary? Are you praying to Mary? All the questions that come when you just don't know. I gotten engaged, and by that point I knew I wanted to be Catholic. I knew I wanted to be part of the church and wanted more than just to be an observer. So as time went on, we got married, and we were blessed. We found out we were expecting our first, 2 months after we got married. And I knew that there was no way I was going to raise that child Catholic and not be Catholic myself. So that was the tipping point, I guess, to take RCIA, and Joe sponsored me, and it was beautiful. It was such a great time for the two of us to explore our faith and begin that journey together. And then, of course, our firstborn decided to make an early appearance on Easter weekend, so I missed the Easter Vigil and I missed my confirmation and ended up having a private Mass where we did our son's baptism and my confirmation together on the same day. And it was incredible and special and beautiful and holds a place in my heart unlike anything else. Our firstborn, when it started it all, was Jaden. He just turned 22, and he is this easygoing, helpful young adult now that's passionate, learning to fly. He loves to help cook. He's very accomplished in the kitchen.
Ethan, the second oldest, he's 19, and he's actually just starting his first year welding right now, which is a great first next step in his life.
A lot of people are very supportive and happy to see a family our size, and we do get a lot of people coming up saying, wow, you guys have, such a beautiful big family.
Our next is Brielle. She's 18 and just finished her first year at University of Calgary. She's my extra set of hands. She is my mini mom yet.
Being in a big family is definitely a little crazy sometimes, but it's also like my life, and it's what I grew up with, and it's what I'm used to, and I definitely wouldn't change it for anything.
Spencer, he's 16 years old, obviously in high school. Very active right now. He was our Zen baby, and our youngest is not a Zen baby. And they have this connection where it doesn't matter what's going on, he picks it up and he takes that young frustration that he comes up complete peace. He's like a baby whisperer.
Olivia, and she just turned 13, and she's actually our firstborn's birthday present. She was born on his birthday, and he walked into the hospital to meet her and said, "Mom, God gave me a birthday present." She's highly academic, she's a gifted dancer, she's passionate about dance. She wants everybody just to be happy.
We do a lot of things together that I really do enjoy.
Eli, he's 11, and he's so quiet and so relaxed. He's starting to retain information. It's just absolutely amazing, where he'll read a book and he's always so excited to share any bit of that information.
He's a little historian.
A little historian, yeah.
Mr. Milo. Mr. Milo is 5, and he is adventurous and playful. You never quite know what's going to come out of his mouth next or what he's going to do next. He keeps you on your toes.
100%. So Adeline, she is 3, and she likes to tell you that she's 3. She's my little sparkle bum. She's a short little girl, but those little legs carry her as fast as humanly possible. It's absolutely just pure joy to watch her run.
And then there's my little Callan. He is Mummy's through and through right now. He's 18 months old. He is this little cuddle bug spitfire, climbing and exploring and learning the world. He knows how to express when he's happy or not.
And when he's not, everybody knows. So through our years, when things go wrong, she would remind me that, hey, you know what? God will never give us something we can't handle. Like, we just gotta have faith, don't stress, we'll get through it, and everything will be fine. Definitely money was a big thing. Balancing the day-to-day things sometimes got a little stressful, where we had to be pulled 5 different directions with different kids. One's going south, the other one's going east, and another one's going west, and it all starts at the same time. We're really blessed in where we are, and with the people that are in our lives with all these events. It's like they're drawn to help us out. Obviously my parents, if all of a sudden when the kids were younger, they were able to just come over and help watch the kids. Same with my in-laws. We've had this huge family connection that has really blessed us to get us through some really tough times. When we sit down for dinner and all my kids are at home and they're all lined up, literally lined up down the table, the feeling that goes through my heart is, I can't even describe it. It is absolutely amazing. I am so proud of my family and all my kids, everything that they're doing in their lives, and to see them at the dinner table eating a meal with us it's absolutely awesome. I look forward to every family meal we can sit down with all the kids together, which is really tricky considering we've got scouts and dances and jobs and girlfriends that are starting to pull the older kids away, which is part of life. Those times together, it's why I'm on this earth. It's the reason why I'm here. It's not for anything else, it's for those kids. And when they're together, it's happiness, pure happiness.
Going out with 9 kids is definitely a little different than society expects.
Many years ago, my wife got it quite a bit where she'd go shopping and people would come up and say, this is absolutely amazing. Unfortunately, we also have the flip side. There's some people out there that see big families as somehow a drain on society, and that's their issues to deal with. But generally, as a whole, most people come up and say, you will never regret having a big family, ever.
Joe, I have a special place for him in my heart for giving me, opening my eyes to what being Catholic means. He's my guidance. When I feel like I'm lacking in some aspect, it's Joe's faith that always comes back and picks me up and gives me the strength of whatever it is I'm going through. And as a father, I couldn't be more grateful for that. He's a constant role model for the kids. After all of these years, I'm just so grateful that he picked me.
My wife, how she puts up with everything and deals with everything is nothing short of a miracle. Her patience, thank God she has patience because I have none. And she really keeps me centered, especially when stuff gets frustrating. She keeps me as grounded as humanly possible, which is absolutely amazing. She manages and keeps everything on track, everything from finances to food. She cooks every meal. Without her, none of this obviously would be possible. She keeps this family anchored. She truly is an amazing woman. We go to church every Sunday.
Our small parish community makes a beautiful space for them to really be involved in Mass. They are altar servers and they help with Coffee Sunday, and they learn those acts of service, not only being part of the Mass, but they're being part of
The church community.
what's happening within the church community.
Yeah.
So they're growing up with this incredible faith support system that's outside of our family as well.
Working together as a family is just as important as making the food, praying, cleaning. Everything's connected. There's a value of doing your chore with respect of working together as a family for the greater good of everybody. It's not just about what somebody can do for you, but what you can do for somebody. We had 6 children, or we're on number 6, and we were pregnant with our 7th, and Tania miscarried, and it happened 3 more times. And we're basically told that there was just no more chances.
We were told we weren't able to have any more children.
Yeah.
And after losing 4, it was emotional and stressful, and
Of course, each miscarriage was heartbreaking. Unfortunately, a sad situation, but
if nobody else could understand, we always knew that God could understand.
with that type of depression, having that prayer,
To help accept whatever His will
maybe
was, whatever He had in store for us for the future. As you're open to life, you grow into it. Your family grows, you grow together. You learn how to juggle more than one kid at a time. It's not as complicated and as
scary as
awful
people
and
think.
as scary as you think it is.
It's amazing that when you're working together as a family, our children support each other. Our children support us. They are part of us, and they recognize that, hey, helping out mom and dad, it's not a burden.
It's a life skill, it's
Yeah.
balance.
We knew we were going to have a big family. I didn't realize we were going to have this big of a family. But if people are worried about having a big family, to remove that worry, prayer definitely will guide you down that path, but you'll never regret it.
Hi, we're the Kellers.
Are you searching for answers? Discover your true identity. Stay tuned to Shalom World.